morning, disc golf fans. It's Howling Heiser Disc Golf. My name's Sean. We are currently at Bennett's Creek Disc Golf Course in Suffolk, Virginia, going for a practice round for the tournament in 2 weeks. The battle for Bennett's going to be interesting. Haven't played out here much in a long time. I was coming out here regularly before, but we'll be back probably not till the tournament after today. But hole one. We're going to be doing the reds today. The tournament is whites and reds. I did whites last time I was out here. Did okay. I was like +5. It's a harder layout, but we're doing the reds today, the shorts. This is hole one. It's a par 3. It's 202 feet. It's a dead straight that you can't see down the road. It's a dead straight shot right through the trees. I'm going to go with my cast of Class V. We'll see if we can't just get this one pumped out there straight down the pipe. Nope. And drop down by a tree. But we're going to throw a second shot. This is a practice round. I'm going to go with my spin, Silver Saranin spin. We'll see how it goes. This is a super straight putt approach disc. I just need to get it halfway there or more. Or into a tree because it's a brand new disc. We'll get back to you at the next one. Just so you know, basket is right there. I am right there. A little up shot with my range, and we should be good to go. Little turnover putt approach. And that should be par. I know some of you have seen it on other videos that I've watched where people post, yeah, you guys are pretty much pros, or hey, why not some amateur videos? And because you see all the pros making YouTube channels, you have other people like Foundation, amazing group, that have been making videos for years. They're all really good at disc golf. Even you, Connor, if you watch this. But nobody shows true amateur videos anymore as a normal everyday video. So that's what I'm trying to do, to give you a peek of what amateurs look like out here doing everyday disc golf. Should be just a simple putt with the peak. And that's a par. So my game is to make videos that show the average everyday person out here playing disc golf, even playing tournaments and possibly winning tournaments, because you put the time and practice in. So we'll see what happens. This is hole 2. It's 277 foot par 3. You gotta chuck something out dead straight, just in that little gap right there in the middle of the woods. The basket's just the left side of that. So you throw something out that'll hold that straight line all the way out and then just come back at the end. I think this is a good one for my Gorgon, the Captain America one. If you watched my previous video, the Gorgon. Get it out to the right. Let it hold that straight line for as long as possible, and then come back. Not that far left, right? I mean, but it's coming back in the trees on the edge. Maybe it was a little too much of a disc. Let's try a Boca. Let's go with the white one. Samurai Boca, the Boca Latte. Great disc, especially if you got a lower arm speed. It tends to work just beautiful. Even it held a little too long going into that tree line. As you see, Boca's 25 feet. That would have been a great one, but just wasn't meant to be. We always play from the first throw. That's the legal throw. And right now we're just going to do a approach with it, not with my putters. We're going to go ahead and go for the range and do a patent pending little throw and put it right up by the basket for a par. Boca might be the play in the tournament for this one, especially from the red tee. The white tee, it might be the Gorgon. That didn't come in too bad. It was a little late. No, it might be about 35 feet for the Boca. But got a nice little upshot 6-footer. And that's a par. I'll put you on this side of the tee pad, if it'll hold. Basket is back over there. You could just see the yellow band through the trees. You either got a really high right side hyzer and hope it's got enough to come all the way back, or you throw a baby hyzer through here with something a little straighter. I think this might be one. My world's buzz. Pump it through this left hand gap, touch a hyzer and let it go all the way there. And that was a lot straighter and hit a tree. Maybe we'll give the runway a try. My old Restable one. It should, if I throw it, it should fight this whole turn all the way over. Just like that. And now skip up. We're probably looking at 15 feet maybe. We'll see when we get up there. But we'll always go for the first throw. Just a little straight shot with the range right through this window of trees. Should be in. Alright, leaked out a little left to about 25 feet uphill, but if I can get my putt to work, it shouldn't be that bad. But yeah, the runway landed 15 feet from the basket, as you can see right there, once it gets up here. Right there, 15 feet, so that's going to be the tournament play, at least for the Reds. But we're over here. Little uphill putt with the peak. See what happens. And off the cage, figures. Off the cage again. Not very good at uphill putts. Fortunately, that would be a bogey for this so far. So one over. But we'll get there. There's a couple holes that are birdieable out there. On the hole 4. Sometimes you get out here and people that aren't playing are on the course. You just gotta wait. Let them know that, hey, you're playing. Some of them are nice enough to just move on. Some of them aren't nice enough. This is hole 3. It is a shorty, 216 feet high, slight hyzer up between the trees and let it crash in left. Basket's on the side of a little hill. This is hole 4, by the way. Kind of like that. That actually looks really good. That hit a tree and dropped. But that wasn't a bad throw at all, actually. Let's go see what we got. Got ourselves a little bit of a death putt. Not too bad. But I got about 6 feet, 8 feet behind it, and it drops down to the edge of a marsh. If you sail it, you're in the marsh. Let's see if we can get a little hyzer putt to come in and drop. Wonder, maybe we'll anhyzer right into the basket. Nope. See, that one, that's what you don't want. That one rolled all the way down the bottom of the hill. Yep, that one rolled all the way down. Let's see. Yep, right on the other marsh. Here you'll find crabs. As you can see, those holes right there. Water moccasins, water snakes, turtles. I found a tortoise sitting out here digging in the middle of a field, laying their nest. And there's a par. Still one over. On the hole 5, which is a decent walk across the parking lot of the boat ramp. Alright, this is hole 5. It's a 188 foot par 3. It is probably one of the shortest holes on the course. If you're in the white or the blue tees, it's kind of a little bit more trickier. You're going to want to throw a straight shot up across this hill through those trees that finishes outright. So you want just a touch of fade, of turn on it, with an understable disc that it just slowly fades to the right, turns to the right, and heads toward the basket on the right. It's just up there on the right hand side. We are going to throw let's go with the silver Sarin. Actually, let's go with the PA5. Only 188 feet. This one should, if I give it a nice little pump straight, it should just cruise right to the right. I can see the basket through the right side of these trees, so just like that. That actually might have been a little long. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first birdie putt. Did go a little long, about 10-ish feet behind the basket. A little bit of tailwind, but back to even par with a birdie. On the hole 6, which, in my opinion, it's one of the trickier ones on this course. Alright, we're on hole 6. It is a par 3, 209 feet, almost dead straight shot. It goes up the hill, back down, kind of levels off a little bit, and then drops, and the basket's on the back side of that drop. It's a tricky one to get to because you could overthrow it and throw it out in the marsh. Best bet is to throw something flat, straight, and let it hit it almost the top of the hill, just past the hill, and let it skip down towards the basket. We'll see what we can do. I think we are going to throw the compass. I I still haven't figured this hole out. In general, the white tee is about 50 feet almost behind us. That's where I'll be throwing from one of the rounds during the tournament in 2 weeks. But this one is still a little bit of a pump, even though it's only 209 feet. That's leaking out left, hit a tree, way left. But it still should be a pretty easy upshot to get to the basket. Give you a little bit wider view here. I am down over here on the left against this big tree. Basket is over there just on the other side of those two big trees next to each other. From where I'm at, this is where my game is weak. That's a little up-hand shot. Get it to crash down on the bank and not go too crazy. Hopefully that flopped and landed. Hit the backside of one of those big trees. I don't know. We'll see. We'll walk over there and find out. Good look. Oh yeah. 8 feet-ish. Looks good to me. I think I could do this one holding you guys. With the blue peak. Oh, a little bit downhill. And we are par on the hole 7. This is kind of one of the iconic holes at Bennett's Creek. You're throwing across a finger of the marsh. It's only like 220 feet, but there's the basket dead straight. This is the white tee pad. The red tee pad's off to the right of these trees with a non-wet throw, but if you hyzer out, you probably end up in the marsh anyways. Alright, this is hole 7. 243 feet straight through that little gap right there in the trees. It's a straight shot from the tee, but if you hyzer out early, you're going to end up down at the edge of the marsh. What you want to do is throw something that unfortunately pumps into those trees on the right hand side and hopefully stays clean and gets up there. I'm going to try the Crave. Like I said, I haven't thrown one in years. I had one when I first started disc golf in 2019, 20, right at the end of COVID. Got stuck watching it on YouTube, watching the pros, got me hooked. Bought some friends' discs, and it's been a wrap ever since. Let's see if we can get this one straight. Or all the way right. Come in. Okay, that's actually the play then. That snuck all the way through and actually came out about 10 feet in front of the basket and skidded down. So we'll see what it is. Alright, like I said, came through a gap that I didn't even know was there. Hit up here, probably near that tree, and skidded down here. Luckily it stopped before heading into the marsh. And now we're looking uphill at a 12, 15 foot putt uphill. See if we can get this one up. Aim for that where it says disc catcher on the band, and maybe it'll drop in. And that's a no. Like I said, aim up. That was over. Still a par, but hey, that was a nice line. Now we're at hole 8. This is a par 3, 212 foot dead straight shot, slightly downhill. We'll go to Silver Siren and spin and see if I can't just throw it out there flat and let it coast all the way down to the basket. Used to be, when I first started, I would throw drivers on this kind of stuff. And I learned can't control drivers like that. So let's see if we can control putter. A little short on the edge of the tree line, but should be a look for birdie. As you can see, leaked out to the right, or left I mean. Spent years in the military, still don't know left and right sometimes. About a 25, 30 foot putt for a birdie. See if we can get the one under par. Good run. There it is. Oh, it was basket. Not bad. Still trying to learn these putters, but that's a par. On the hole 9. Hole 9, 255 feet. Another dead straight shot. Gotta throw something out with a small hyzer. Let it come in underneath that tree, skip up to the basket. Grass doesn't allow it to skip very well. It's about 40 feet past that big maple tree. You got a contender here for early hit with this big pine tree. Throw off the left side of the tee pad, let it come out, come back in. I'm gonna throw my Gorgon. Let's see if I can't get it to get out there. And I sawed it off early. Hit that tree and drop. That's an easy par. Let's try a different disc and see what happens. Let's try my let's try a passion. Some say it's always a passion. Still come back a little early. Skip out to the bottom of that mulch pile on the left. Still going to be a par from that first throw, but we'll see. Not too bad. About a 35, 40 foot putt, I think. Got the height if I want to throw big putt. Let's see what we could do. My other disc is about 20 feet or so to the left of me, right just before that mulch pile. That would have been a little bit better, but not by a lot. Let's see if we can get a big putt. Had the distance, had the speed, just not the line. But still a par. Not too bad, even for the round so far. Should be an easy putt for par. But realistically, should have been able to get that up here, but still learning. Each line up shots definitely in for par. Alright folks, we are at hole 10 at Bennett's Creek Park Disc Golf Course. This is the largest hole in the Hampton Roads area, I do believe, with the short tee coming in at 653 feet. This is a par 5. Playing longs, it's kind of crazy at 927 feet. I played the reds, which is the mids, last time I was out here, and I had a 40-foot putt for birdie, which unfortunately I did not make, so I got a par. Let's see if we can get the birdie today on the shorts. I'm going to try 3 discs. Always go with the first one. It's going to be the Lone Hell 3. I'm going to throw my Octane and my Captain America's Gorgon as second shots, just to see. Usually you got a nice headwind coming down this hole. Today it is actually ridiculously calm out here. So I'm going to throw this Lone Hell 3, give it the best pump I can, get it out there as far as I can, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to throw the other 2 just to see if it's dead, if the Gorgon could do it, or if I can get a full fight on that Octane, because it's a beast. I used to throw Corvettes, and they're just too much. We'll see if that Octane can replace that position in my discs. But we're going to give this, see Sea Lion PD Lone Howl 3. Oh, just picked up a tailwind. Oh, that might be a good thing. Let's get it out there. Too much hyzer on it, but it's a pump. Let's throw this octane a little flatter and let it do its own hyzering. Let's not help it. Playing with a little bit of a handicap. I got a cut on the tip of my pinky finger, but just pull it off and it should still be all right. That's a little bit better. Wow. I mean, for me, that's good. I got little arms compared to some players. But let's get this Gorgon. I got some moisture from the last hole on it still. Make it a little stickier. Let's give this Gorgon a huge, hard throw and let's see if it'll hold or if it's going to turn over. Oh, it's holding. It went up, but came back down. I think all three of them are pretty close to the same. We'll see when we get up there. As you can see, there's the Lone Howl 3. Right over there, about there is the Gorgon, and right there's the Octane. So that was a pretty good chuck for all three of those discs for me. I'm going to use my rangefinder because I want to see exactly how far those came out. I should be able to hit the pole back there for the bag, for the T-pad. $273 feet for the Lone Howl. $291 for the Gorgon. And I want to say this is about $288 for the Octane. $287. Still struggle to get 300 feet most throws, big throws. Every now and then I've gotten it, but like I said, we always go with our first one, which was the Lone Howl 3. How far we got left? 400 almost? 420. According to that. So I think I'm going to chuck the Gorgon this throw. Oh, now we got a little bit of a headwind. Just slightly. This is a little bit easier. I can get a little bit more of a run up out here on the grass. That's out of bounds. Grossly out of bounds. Let's mark this one and throw the PD and see what I could do with it. I just threw that Gorgon a little too high and a little too much hyzer. That was a little bit better, but that was really far right. Let's go see if we can figure out where we went out of bounds and then throw from there. No birdie today. Sure enough, out of bounds by a bit, but the way it was coming down, I think I'm right about here. So I'll mark it and then we'll go from. Looks like we got about 175, 200 feet left in, thanks to an out of bounds. We're going to throw our sway on a little turnover and see if we can't get it up there. And put it by the basket. And overturned it, but wasn't. Maybe something not so understable on a little bit of a turnover. Yep. Oh. Ow. That was going to go long. Little tiny upshot and then punch out for a bogey. Up underneath this tree. Skipped up. Squat in here. And just toss up there for the easy bogey. It's a hard hole if you don't control your distance. Oh, actually, I just threw that a little too far. For a bogey, back to 1 over. On the hole 11, which is another difficult hole on this course. You're throwing from a field into a tree line and then downhill to the basket. Hole 11, 395 feet. It's a par 4. You got to get into the tree line with your first throw. Try to get punching as far as you can. Then it goes downhill to basket is guarded by a bunch of little trees. Biggest thing is just punch into the trees as far as you can the first throw. I'm going to go with the Boca. Well, I'm on the path. That's not too bad. I'd like to have gotten a little bit further in, but I threw that one up too high. I don't know if I recorded my last throw, but I had about 20 foot into the tree line, toss my sway down here, hit the hill right up here behind us. Just an easy upshot with my range. Almost like a little jump putt-ish type thing. And I'll take the 4 and move on. I have to say that disc golf has been a great outlet for me. Don't like being cooped up indoors. I'm a gamer, but I like being outdoors. I grew up being outdoors, and this just feels like home, being out here playing disc golf. And I love that I get most of my family, most of my kids come out and will play with me on some weekends. The wife plays. I met some great people playing, and well, I just want to continue this legacy of playing disc golf and enjoying it. So let's put this one in for a par and move on to hole 12. work great if you get in close to the basket. Hole 12 coming up. Hole 12. It is 227 feet up and over this hill and down a little to the left. Guarded by a bunch of little trees again. Just pump something straight and hope it gets up over the hill and just kind of skims the ground all the way down to the basket. I've gotten a birdie on this one time, and we are going to throw our compass. Let's throw the compass today. Up and over the hill to the coast. That center tree is probably the miss everybody does. Come on, miss that tree. That might not be too bad. That was a good one. Missed the tree and just let it coast all the way in. Not as good as we had hoped. We do have a straight look right at the basket, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very tight gap. So I think we're going to come over here and throw a little flex forehand down this little bit bigger gap. So let's see if I can put you guys right about here so you can see. Hold on. There we go. Everything that happens. Or the ground. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a lovely word from our sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. One day, maybe. Stay. We'll give our berg a shot on this one. Step out as far as we can and just give ourselves an opportunity to get up there, or just give ourselves a long putt. We can do it. We got it. Come on, let's go get it. Long downhill putt. If I can find a spot to set you guys, that's not going to flop over on me. It's really downhill, and I'm using my iPhone 16, and it's a little heavy. Hopefully it stays. Long putt. I would hate to go up to +2 because of a bad upshot. Nope. 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 +2 it is. This is, for me, one of the harder courses in the Hampton Roads area. I prefer Morning Point Park, Bayville. They're easier, but I like them because they're familiar. I don't play this one as much. I don't live as close to this one as I do those. But +2, on to the next hole. Hole 13. Usually, I've never played this tee pad before, so this is a new line for me. I usually play from a tee pad about 120, 150 feet that way, throwing over a swampy marsh. Lost a disc in there back when I first started. Just watched it dive right into the mud. 220 feet. It's a big turnover. Going back over towards the right side. I'm going to throw my Fulk. It's a great turnover disc, has great flight, great glide. So hopefully I can get it turned over enough up through there, hopefully, to give it a chance to actually go over. I don't know. I don't know if the sky route's worth it. I kind of go right through there. I don't have a forehand to say that I could get forehand up in there to come over. So Let's see if I can sneak this Suffolk through there. It's only 220 feet, and gotta throw a 9-speed to try to get it to go through these trees. Nope, hit a tree. Drop down in some brush over there. Or have a bad upshot. Let's see what else we could do. Let me see what else I got. We'll try our leopard, our Halo Leopard 3. See if we can't do a similar shot, just don't cut it off as much. Something more. Oh shit. Something more like that. That was beautiful. Alright, see if I can give you a wide view of this one. Basket is that way. I'm over there. It's going to be a hard one to get up and down for the 3. So let's see. Let's get the Fox. Let's see if I can't get a crazy turnover. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I kinda got a crazy forehand here. I ain't got nothing that way. I do have a forehand though. Can we do it with the Fox? About to find out. Stay tuned. Nope, can't do it with the Fox. It happens sometimes. I'm gonna leave you guys right there for the upshot. Right up inside this little cherry tree, I think. I'm gonna give you guys a picture, a view of this. These are pretty. Long putt. I'll take you guys over here and show you this. I think they're cherry blossoms. I am not 100% sure what kind of flowers these are, but something I like about some channels, they do a pause for nature. But look how pretty those are. If anybody knows what those are, let me know, please. Let me see where that Leopard 3 went. Leopard 3 parked. That was a beautiful shot with that Leopard 3. You can see it. It's on the right side. That is beautiful. I gotta remember to do that during the tournament. I'll set you up right here. Let's see if we can't make this putt for, I believe, a bogey. I think this is a par 3. Not high enough. Too high. I have to remember that don't throw my putts nose down because they're going to stay down. This is hole 14, 210 feet, straight out from the tee pad, right at the edge of the wood line. We're throwing from in the woods to the outside of the woods. I'm going to go with the Svay. Just put it flat, let it go straight towards it. If it doesn't do what I want, maybe we'll try the compass and see if that'll work. But I'm just sending this one straight at it on kind of a soft throw. And I turned it over bad. Like really bad. You know, something I've never tried here. I'm going to try and throw a forehand flat, let it coast to the left a little bit and then come back. Kind of like that. But that one came way back. Maybe the survey would have worked for that. But first shot was horrible. But integrity, gotta take it. So stay tuned for the upshot. Kind of ugly shot here. I'm gonna grab my Berg and my range and see if we can't finagle something over to that basket. Maybe a little step out, beeline right at it. Alright, not too bad. That was a pretty good straight shot for the most part. Leaked a little bit to the right and caught a tree. We're at +3 right now, unfortunately. That'll probably give us +4, but there's a couple of holes left that have opportunity for birdies. Put you right here. Grab my putters, go putt. Compass wasn't too bad. It got me most of the way. Would have been a lot easier upshot than this way, but it is what it is. This is kind of a gross headwind right to left at the same time, over some bushes and into the basket. Let's go. Sound like we're going to grandma's house. Oh, basket. Not bad. And that one just cut too early. Means I had it just off. Bogey. Alright. Now we're doing the opposite. We're throwing from in the woods out to the out of the woods to in the woods. On another pretty straight throw. Beeline right at the basket. Alright, this is hole 15. It is the shortest hole in the course at 180 feet. It is straight back inside of some trees. Not going to say this is an easy one, definitely not. Let's go with the spin and see if I can't maybe give it a little bit of Annie on the left side and have it walk over. Kind of like that. Get off that tree. Boogers. But not too bad. If it had missed that tree, it would have skipped right up to the basket. Off we go. Every time I play disc golf, I think of Disney's Into the Woods movie, because most of the courses around here, you're always going into the woods. Set you right here. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. Longish putt. And if it hyzers out too much, it's going to go down the hill to a muck spot. So let's lay this one up and see if we can't just put it right close to the basket. Right close to the basket. Get our par and go. Little POV putting. Love that. Hole 16. This is 350 feet. It is a huge dogleg left. So we're going to pull the wraith out and give the wraith a shot to get over there. If you can get it all the way over, it's a good chance for an eagle. This is a par 4, the shortest par 4, a very short par 4. But the problem is getting far enough left because it's literally that way. So let's see if we can get up high and let it go as far as we can. Kind of like that. I mean, that was too high because it's crashing down early, but that's a decent skill upshot to for the birdie. As you can see, we came from back over there, tucked back inside those tree lines over there. We got to here, basket's over there. That's a pretty stock simple upshot. Break out the range and we'll try to put it up there next to the basket for a birdie. Too high, way too high. Get down, hit the tree and drop. Oh, looks like a par. I threw that way too high. Long putt for the birdie. And standing in some poison ivy. That's great. Greg got pants on today. Long putt with a headwind. Yeah. Nope, that one's not good either. But it's a par. And it's in on the hole 17, which is a tricky one. Another one thrown into a tree line, trying to punch as far as you can go and then punch further through trees. So I'll meet you there. This is hole 17, 255 feet according to the T sign. I guess the red tee pad's here according to the T sign, but I guess it's a little gravel spot. But you want to punch into the tree line. If you go that way, you're certain to hit trees and die because it's a mess of trees going up. But there is a line there. If you go through there and to the right, which I'm going to try to with this maul, there is a path going all the way up to the basket that if you could throw a straight shot, which I haven't been doing very good today, you can get up to the basket and possibly get to 3, which I believe this is a par 4. Nope, it's a par 3. This should be a par 4, especially from the longer basket, longer tee pad, I mean, because it's a hard one to get up in there. And to find a good footing spot with this is kind of junky. It was clean. I don't know how far it is or where it's going to be at, but it was clean. We'll see. Looks like I got pretty lucky coming in here with the maul. Got through the initial tree line up to the up towards the basket here. I don't have a direct shot, but I think I do have a step out backhand patent pending throw that I can pump something all the way up to the basket. Let's go with the spin. Kind of got to throw it to the left side of this gap and let it come back on its own. We got a putt. It's up there. I don't know if I could have got there with a forehand. Well, not that one. Squared that tree. Always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to pick up your discs. I left one back a few holes ago. I gotta go see if I can find it. Maybe the people behind me picked it up. If not, I know where it's at. I never went and got it. Oh! That was a good attempt. Should be a fairly easy par. Plus 3 or 4, plus 4 I think. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Bennett's Creek, Suffolk, Virginia, red layout. Short, but technical on a lot of holes. Doing a walk of shame to go back and try to find my disc. Hopefully it's still sitting out where I think it is. I didn't remember throwing it anywhere else but on the big hole. It was the last one. So, heading back over there. But thank you for tuning in and watching my shenanigans and hitting trees and not throwing straight lines like I need to, or hitting bad putts. But we're going to get better. Just keep practicing and stay consistent out here with it. I want to make a shout out to Play It Against Sports for providing me with some great plastic to throw out here. Shout out to Norview Family Chiropractor. They have been a vital key element in my success this year. Being 48 years old, a lot of years in the military, bad back. Their help has been vital, extremely vital to me being able to play as good as I've been playing this year. So that's it for today. We'll have a great day and get out here and throw some plastic. Don't hit the trees though.